Lapland, the most northern frontier of the European continent. Shared between Norway, Sweden, Finland and Russia, the region covers a total area of over 400,000 square kilometers, making it larger than countries like Germany, New Zealand or even Norway and Finland themselves. Before we explore the fascinating geography of Lapland, we should clarify all the nuances which are associated with this name and region. Starting off, many assume Lapland is one clear and distinct region, but this is far from the truth. When studying the map of northern Scandinavia, there are the Finnish and Swedish subdivisions called Lapland, which both touch the border with Norway, which spans over the peninsula, while the surrounding parts of these Laplands are not being named after Lapland. By popular understanding, they're just as much an integral part of it. In fact, all of these regions are considered Lapland due to historical context of the people which first populated it. About 3,500 years ago, people from the Ural Mountains in Russia migrated to the northernmost extent of the Scandinavian peninsula and for thousands of years lived completely separately from the North cultures and kingdoms of the south. These people are called the Sami, and their traditional homeland is what people now typically connect with the term Lapland. In most Scandinavian languages today, the term Lapland actually has a derogatory connotation with Lapp, meaning something along the lines of silly, uneducated or backwards. And the geographical term Sápmi is preferred by Sami people, which is what we'll use from now on when referring to the region as a whole. Geographically, Sápmi can broadly be split into three distinct areas. Starting off in the west, the land is characterized by Norway's iconic fjord landscape along the Atlantic and Arctic coast, as well as the Scandinavian mountains, which follow the shore northwards. From the mountains eastwards comes the Swedish Lapland, with its great rivers running from the northwest to the southeast, like arteries of the land, as a result of glaciers which have carved these distinct channels for thousands of years. As we traverse the river Torne and step into Finland, the canvas of Sápmi's terrain transforms once more. Here, vast expanses known as Inselberg Plains stretch out and tell a story of the power of nature, which have been flattened by the unstoppable march of glaciers that once dominated the region, while solitary hills are enduring as the only features to withstand the test of time. When these mountains reach above the tree line, they are actually called fells, and across Sápmi they have some peculiar stories to tell. The highest point of Finland, for example, lays on the fell called Halti, but this point doesn't actually represent the mountain's peak. The summit of Halti lays just 150 meters north and about 40 meters higher up, but is located on Norwegian territory. As part of Finland's 100th anniversary of its independence in 2017, Norway contemplated a unique gift, redrawing the border to give Finland the peak of Mount Halti. However, constitutional concerns ultimately prevented the gesture. Another interesting storyline played out for Sápmi's highest peak, the Swedish Kebnekaise. The mountain is topped by two peaks which lay just a few hundred meters apart, yet their build-up couldn't be more distinct. The southern one is heavily glaciated, while the northern one shows its exposed rock. Since the beginning of scientific recording of its height in 1880, the southern peak maintained the title for the highest peak in Sápmi and Sweden as a whole, but summer measurements at the end of the annual ice melt in 2019 for the first time revealed that the southern peak has lost a total of 24 meters since the 60s, giving its title to the northern rocky peak. For now, this title will swing forth and back as the seasons change, but the trend is clear that soon the more treacherous climb to the northern peak will be necessary if you want to be on top of Sápmi. Like these mountains, much of Sápmi lies north of the Arctic Circle, meaning the latitude above which polar nights and midnight suns occur. At the most northern point of Finland, for example, the sun will be above the horizon for a total of 72 days during the summer, but also stay under the horizon for 62 consecutive days during the wintertime. This phenomenon, while it can be challenging to deal with in the winter, is also one of the ingredients for another phenomenon, which Sápmi is famous for. Earth's magnetic field redirects charged particles from solar storms towards the poles, leading to high probabilities of them penetrating the upper layers of Earth's atmosphere. When this happens, the excited gases are visible as auroral lights, and the darkness of polar nights amplifies this experience to make it one of the best auroral light destinations in the world. Next to these nature spectacles, a well-done marketing campaign has established the Finnish region of Sápmi as the home of Santa Claus, attracting thousands of tourists from all over the world into this remote part of Earth. And if not for meeting Santa, the dozens of vast protected national parks, nature reserves and wildlife areas in all of the constituting countries attract hikers, climbers and adventurers for the rest of the year. Sweden and Finland both have their largest national parks in their respective Lapland, with Finland's 3 largest parks all being found there. These parks don't just protect the pristine mountains, lakes and forests of the region, but they are also a refuge to the indigenous Sami and other groups to continue their traditional practices to some extent. In Norway, Sweden and Finland, several policies are in place, giving these Sapmi people some autonomy over their lands, protecting their heritage and giving them a political voice. But mining activities, the construction of wind farms in Sweden or pipelines in Russia, and other resource extraction across the whole of Sapmi are putting these traditional ways at threat, as they are severely harming the habitat of reindeer, which are deeply ingrained in the ways of the Sami. Hopefully this video gave you a little better understanding of how the most northern region of Europe looks like, and gives you insight into the unique life of the indigenous people which live there. If you want to see more videos like this one, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. See you in the next one. Cheers.